Welcome to Morningstar. I'm Holly Black. With me is Gordon Fraser from the BlackRock Emerging Markets Fund. Hello.
Hi, Holly. Nice to be with you.
So, Gordon, I think emerging markets often get overlooked by investors, particularly in this sort of growthy, tech-focused environment. But what do you think are some of the most exciting reasons to invest in this area?
So I think the one thing emerging markets gives you more so than really any other, at least equity asset class, is just variety. You've got 25 countries in the index. You've got 4,000 stocks that are liquid enough to invest in. And the best thing is they all move around a lot. So the job of an active manager would be kind of boring if a stock's never moved. And in emerging markets, you get a lot of dispersion and you've got those 25 countries to play with. So it gives a huge amount of variety, a huge amount of opportunity for adding value. Of course, it can go the other way as well. But that's the exciting thing about emerging markets.
So you said they move around a lot. So what are some of the most compelling opportunities at the moment that you're finding?
So I guess taking a kind of step back and looking at the bigger picture about markets over the next year, I think actually if we go back a year ago and think about how we felt last August or last September, we were looking forward to a recovery from COVID. We had huge monetary policy support behind markets. And I think now as we sit just about entering Q4 in 2021, some of those tailwinds have gone away. So I think the general environment for markets looking forward is probably more challenging than it was this time last year. In particular, I think there's a lot of risk around margins for companies. So one thing we're looking at a lot in our process is trying to identify companies where there isn't margin risk and where potentially there's margin upside. There's a lot of companies that have had a lot of benefit from COVID, beyond the obvious winners. Companies that benefit from lower travel expense, maybe lower employee attrition. And that can be a risk as economies normalize. So that's why we're really focusing, trying to avoid those losers, focus on the winners at a company standpoint.
So I think a lot of people associate emerging markets with exports and commodities in particular. Do you think that's still true today, or do you find other industries are just as interesting?
Yes, I think that's really kind of the emerging markets 1.0, which was just all about kind of emerging markets converging with developed markets, copying what's happening in DM, maybe providing some of the commodities for developed market consumption. But I think things have changed in EM. Emerging markets are leaders in many areas. You've seen emerging market consumers adopt technology more quickly than in developed markets in many areas. In some of the more high-tech industries as well, whether it's renewables or electric vehicles, really EM's dominant in that manufacturing space. So that kind of preconception of EM as kind of subordinate to DM, I think, is out of date and actually presents an opportunity for investors.
But we know with this region there are economic and political and currency risks. Are there any particular areas of caution for you at the moment?
So we have a macro process that allocates capital between emerging markets where we try and identify the cycles. Now, there's 25 countries in the index. They don't all have the same cycle. So there's always areas where we think they're in a more late cycle environment, where there's more risk to the currencies. And there are some countries like that. And then there's some countries we think are in a more early cycle environment and there's upside from a recovery. So really when we're thinking about macro in emerging markets, we're looking to invest in the countries that haven't taken on a lot of debt during COVID, that will be able to enjoy the economic recovery, the countries with flexible economies and flexible labor forces that can adapt and have a strong recovery. That's where we're really trying to focus our capital and take it away from the countries where we see more structural issues or we see more kind of cyclical challenges as well.
Gordon, fantastic. Thank you so much for your time. For Morningstar, I'm Holly Black.